Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we're taking a look at two very unique knives. We're taking a look at the Case Knives Russlock. I haven't reviewed a whole lot of this style of knife on the channel, and I don't really know why. But these two knives are in my possession right now because they actually belong to a friend of mine, and he loaned he didn't really loan them in. He's having me sharpen them for him. And so I decided that since I was going to have them in here, we'd just go ahead and review them, right? So that's what's going on here. We only need one of them for size comparisons. Let's go ahead and start. I am sorry if I sound tired. I am. I'm exhausted. I just got in from doing some field work. We were out looking at some Pennsylvanian through Ordovician limestone and looking at some faulting that occurred in these blocks back during the Ouachita orogeny, looking at some deformation that occurred during the Laramide orogeny, and some structural features related to Rio Grande rifting. So yeah, I'm tired. I've got this splinter in my finger. A cactus spine's in there, and I haven't been able to get it out because I can't see it. I cut my hand up a little bit on limestone, which I just got out of the shower, cleaned up really good, but I can feel I still got a little bit of dirt in there. So, all right, let's go ahead and stop rambling, get on with our measurements here. So, if we're measuring the sharpened edge, we're coming in here just the tiniest bit over 2 inches, like 2¼ inches. If we go back to the bolster, we're coming out like 2½ inches. So yeah, definitely not a big knife by any standard. Let's get our size comparisons out here. There's the Rat 1, looking pretty ginormous compared to this guy. And even the Rat 2 is looking pretty big. Next up, let's go ahead and grab our USA made comparisons. There's the Bug Out, again looking uncharacteristically large, and there is the Spyderco PM2. Good deal. Let's go ahead and pull out our Civivis. Praxis, and the Elementum. Yeah. And let's go ahead and end our comparisons with a couple of case knives. First up here we have a Case Trapper, and then let's compare it against a Stockman. So there we go. Maybe I'll review these knives. I've had these knives for a long time. I don't know why I haven't reviewed them. I'm trying to review as many knives as I can right now without having to buy any new knives because life's just getting way too busy. And I'm not going to, beginning of this summer, I'm not going to be able to film anything, really. Okay, enough rambling. Again, I feel like I said that already. What are we looking at here in terms of materials? Well, we have Case's true sharp, steel that they use. And this one has green jigged bone. This one has yellow jigged bone. We do have the Russlock right there. Let's go ahead. Let's go do some cutting, shall we? Alrighty, guys, let's talk about the Case Russlock. Kind of a goofy looking knife, right? Honestly, honest opinion, I think this thing is ugly as sin. But that's not what we're talking about right now. Let's go ahead and start off with the ergonomics. Actually, not too bad. Very neutral grip, of course, and this big area up here gives you a good spot for your thumb. This big liner lock can get in the way if you're just like trying to grab it like this. But if you kind of choke up in the kind of ricasso area of the blade and kind of put that big liner between your index and middle finger, it works out really well. Actually pretty comfortable. If you pull back a little bit, I mean, I can still feel that thing, and it is a thin piece of metal, so it's not super comfortable, but it works out, right? It's fine. What's about the action? It's a front flipper. You can one-hand this guy, and it does have a degree of satisfaction to it. There's a little bit of a nice, I don't know, a kind of a tactile, good tactile feel with it. The close is nothing spectacular. Honestly, I really don't know what to say about the action. The action is, we'll say that. So, as for carry, like a lot of traditional styled knives, no pocket clip, so this is either a pocket dropper or you can put it in a slip if you want to. It's up to you. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the cutting. So, we have a clip point blade here. This is Schrade's, or not Schrade, my gosh. I did the cutting footage for a Schrade just before filming this. Cases. This is Cases, whatever their steel is, right? Nothing amazing. Let me grab that. Okay, with that out of the way, let's let's just go ahead and do some cutting. It is a very thin blade, so it does, you know, behave pretty slicey. So that's good. Let's grab our rope. Not bad. Curious to see how it does here. Okay, actually did better than I was kind of expecting. We did not make it all the way through. This one made it through like 1 2/3 of a strand. But for such a slim, tiny blade, that's not bad. You know, that's kind of what I was expecting. Let's do our pool noodle. We do not have a whole lot of blade to work with, so we just gotta be cognizant of that. I'm just going to do that one cut because of our blade length limitations. But yeah, it felt good going through there. Nothing that I would call out as an immediate issue. So yeah, I mean, the steel won't hold an edge for very long, but like most traditional knives, it's made to cut. And, well, lo and behold, it cuts. Let's go ahead and get back to the table. Let's try that again. Since I spent so much time talking about field work today in this review, I'm going to show you a couple of stuff I found. This is just a little bit. I've got way more in my backpack, but I came across some Pennsylvanian crinoid meadows, and I picked up some crinoid bits. Good little chunk there. I've got some much better pieces in my backpack that I need to dig out and clean. You can see here some of the crinoids were basically silicified. So we had chert that came in as a secondary diagenetic process to replace some of these crinoid bits and pieces. Again, here's some more just stem chunks. And this one I thought was really cool. This is one of the fattest crinoid stems I've ever found. I love the little star in there. Yeah, just really, really good little fossil. Those are the ones I dug out of my backpack right now. Yeah, actually, I'll show you one more thing. My roommate is out of town for the weekend, so I've been washing rocks in our sink. But yeah, so this is a pretty cool chunk that I found. Let's focus in here on the rock camera. Thank you. Look at how gorgeous that is. Yeah, and it's not wet right now. It's pretty dry. It's just a bunch of druzy quartz on here. And flip it on its side, and you can see we've got the limestone kind of the main body, and we have like this quartz crust around the edge. Let's flip this guy over. You can see the side that I haven't finished scrubbing yet. Still pretty sparkly. And then we do have some, that little hole there. Crinoid fossil came out of there. You can still see the ridges. Right there. But, yeah. Pretty cool stuff. We will go ahead and get back to the video. Pardon me, but I'm exhausted. And so this video, yes, has a lot of muttering and rambling and me just forgetting what my point is. So let's get back to it. Currently editing the video you are watching. Right now it's a little bit later in the afternoon. But I was getting my laundry ready to go do laundry, and I was checking my pockets. All future geologists out there, don't forget to check your pockets. And I found some other interesting things. This here is fossilized coral. Pretty nice little chunk. One of my friends actually scraped that off of a limestone wall for me. I'm going to back my window here. Yeah, there we go. Get some better lighting in here. This here is something else that came out of my pocket. Why did I pick this up? I guess because it was just sparkly, but a little bit of probably calcite stuff going on there. Here is a little bit of coral that's, or this might actually be a crinoid bit. Let's see, let's look at this. I'm pretty sure this is coral. Nice and sparkly in there. Not sure if you can tell. And then there was fluorite in the area. And I found this little piece, which is actually a really nice little piece of fluorite. Got a little bit of the green, a little bit of the pinkish purple going on. Really like that. And I pulled this out of my backpack. Gosh, I've got dust all over my desk. I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning this up. But this is a bigger chunk of fluorite. You can see those kind of square blocks in there. That's all fluorite. Go over here. We've got little bits of fluorite mixed in with some quartz, a little bit of calcite, there's some barite and some of this stuff. So clean that up and see what that looks like. And then I've got a boatload of other stuff in my backpack. But yeah, I just figured I'd pull this out since I remembered that I had those things in my pockets. All right, there you go, for those of you that care about that. I lied. I'm not letting you go just yet. This is what happens when I get to start talking about rocks. Interesting fact, some of the fluorite from this area that we were at is actually radioactive. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited about some of the chunks I picked up. I have to get a Geiger counter out here and see what's going on with them. But, yeah, okay. Now I'm done. I'm going to finish editing this and, yeah, get you guys back to the knife part of the video. Alrighty, we're back. Let's talk about what I like and what I don't like about these knives. This is probably going to be pretty quick. One thing I like is that these are different, right? There is some innovation going on here, and that's always important. We see the same old a lot in the knife community, and Any type of innovation is always welcome, in my opinion. Oh no, I'm losing my voice. So yeah, this design has been around since 2000, I believe. Yeah, I think 2000 is when these were first made. And actually, we do know the years of these things. So, what I was going off of that was, yeah, these have been around for a while, but when Case did this, this was a pretty new thing. There's an interesting story behind this knife. I guess it was a prototype that was designed by one of the kind of Case VIP people, one of their, designers. And the design itself actually never came to fruition until after his passing. So you can read up on all that. But anyways, going on to the tang here. As with every Case knife, the tang stamp actually tells you about when it was made. So in this case, this knife is from 2001. And this knife is from 2000, let's see here. I figured this out, but I already forgot it, and I didn't write it in my notes because I'm an idiot. 2004? Yeah. So, pretty old knives. And that kind of goes into the next thing I like. Yeah, these are old knives. They've been used a lot, but they're still kicking, right? They're still kicking. And that's something that Case has always been good at, is these kind of heirloom quality pieces. Their knives will be around for a long time. I know of Case knives that have been passed down since my great-great-grandpa. They're kind of immortal in some senses, but yeah. Next thing, the fitment on the the fit and finish as far as like our scales into the over the liners, the spring, the butt caps, bolsters. The fit and finish is pretty good. Not gonna complain there. They're pretty well finished. They're made in the USA. Love that. I think that's great. Next thing I like, the ergonomics are okay. If you choke up, I talked about this in the cutting footage, but if you choke up kind of right like this, it feels really good. If you're back here like this, it's really terrible in my opinion because that just digs into your finger. But, you can make it work. The other thing, good blades on here, that's something Case always does, and I guess traditional knives in general, is they slice very, very well. These are made to cut, and they do cut. They're not going to hold an edge forever, which we'll talk about, but, they do cut. And last thing, this is kind of in the vein of it being of these knives being very unique designs, but I do like that they are one-hand opening, and closing too, right? But it's very, very, not fidgety, but it is kind of satisfying. And it is interesting to, have that type of functionality in your otherwise classically designed knife. And again, going back onto the innovation, putting a lock on a knife like this is kind of cool, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get into what I'm not liking. First of all, I think these things are ugly as sin. I think these are just hideous knives. Now, I made a short about about carrying one of these, and someone commented and said that there was a drop point version. I was like, really? So when I looked up the drop point version, and that one looks so much better. It is. I'd actually be interested in getting my hands on one of those. But yeah, very, very good looking knife. So, I do have to say that. But this one here, I do think is just ugly. Next thing, yeah, Case's steel does not hold an edge worth a darn. And sharpening this for my buddy, I was trying to decide what type of edge would be best. I decided to go on not a mirrored edge, but something that is kind of close. You can see that there. Just because I put I put a mirror edge on this one at first, or maybe it was this one. I can't remember. And then I used a little bit, you know, he said I could, you know, do reviews on these. So I used a little bit, lost its edge. Sharpened this one to kind of a coarser edge, and it did hold it a little bit better, but, I mean, there wasn't, like, enough difference to really tell, and so I decided just, you know, get a little bit of a polish to kind of match. Whatever. It'll go dull again really, really quickly. It is a very simple steel, so it'll be, you know, very easy to sharpen back up, but still, you know, I feel like it's something that needs to be mentioned. Next thing, the ergonomics, yeah, they can be all right. Ouch. I just rubbed my finger against the table, and I got another cactus spine in there somewhere. Oh, yep. I can see there's like 3 of them. Okay, let me grab my tweezers real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, sorry about that. What were we even talking about? Oh yeah, the ergonomics. Yeah, if you just grab it like right here, very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. That piece of metal does dig in quite a bit. Next thing, these things are not very easy to use with gloves. One-handing them, you can't really get a good angle, so what I ended up doing was like grabbing them like this and then two-handing them kind of like that. So you can do it, but it's not super easy. Next thing, I'm not sure if I like this lock. Like, there's a lot of play. And yeah, you know, you got the back spring from this thing, so I don't know. It's just, I don't think this really needed a lock. I think it would have been fine if it was just a slip joint. And next thing, I don't know if this has happened, you know, while these knives have been, you know, over the course of their lifetime being used, because they obviously haven't used a lot, but yeah, the centering is way off and stuff. However, I have seen brand new Russlocks that were also way off center. So yeah, it's not something I'm a big fan of. And the last thing, let's see, how expensive are these? Okay, so yeah, anywhere from like 56 to $100. I would say is a little bit too much for these things, but you know, again, if you're a collector or something, you're gonna pay what they ask. Let's go ahead and go on to my final conclusions. Final conclusions, this is a very interesting knife, and I always like seeing things that are interesting, different, unique, but this is one that is not for me. I do not like this pattern very much at all. And out of cases lineup, if you're really going to carry a case knife, of course, you know, you can get traditional knives these days that have better materials that will, you know, hold an edge better or, you know, give you increased performance. But if you really do want to carry a case, because it's a case, I mean, let's be honest, Case has a reputation. They're a very respected brand. I would say, like, I would carry any other pattern before this. You know, that being said, I know that the collectability is big here. They are made in the USA. Case knives are... They're good knives. Again, these knives are old. They've been used quite a bit, but they're still around. They're still kicking. And you can't just discredit that, right? That does have to be taken into account. And, yeah, I definitely do. But, you know, the off-centering and stuff like that... The fit and finish is all right, but the build quality is not that great, is the way I'd say that. Yeah, do I recommend these? Personally, no, but, you know, if you're already someone who likes the looks of them, nothing I say is going to change your mind, right? So, yeah, do what you will. For me, I'm not a huge fan of this pattern at all. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't ruin it by being exhausted. This probably wasn't the best time to film a video, but yeah, I've got to film when I've got free time. So, yeah. Where was I with our goodbye? Whatever. Anyways, I'll start over again. If you like this video, leave it a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon. I hope you have a great day. Adios.